Yellowjackets back in school as the 2016-17 year getting underway. Connor, the golf season is coming up quickly. Your first event's next week. Just talk about the outlook for the team this year. You're a senior leader.
Yeah, we're really excited. We brought in both Garrett and Caleb, some new players. We started qualifying on Labor Day 2 days ago, and we started getting things rolling. Everyone's coming off pretty successful summers, working a lot, but also playing tournaments. So we're coming in fresh, ready for a new season, and it's nice to start off, in Billings here with the Rocky Cup. And as for being a senior, I'm very excited to be the best leader and captain I can be this year.
What's going to be the most helpful for you having a year of experience under your belt within MSUB's program last year as a junior?
Sure, yeah, and even the redshirt year before that, I was able to see, a different head coach, but also, just kind of a wave of seniors graduate before me and kind of the culture that they brought to the team, and then, thinking how I could create a culture that will last when I leave, by what I do on the course, but also off with my actions and just the way, I behave and what I can instill in the freshmen so, we can keep the culture going, for many more years.
And a unique sport in that you have a fall season and a spring season, and you have scores that count towards your conference total in both sessions, and not any other sport has that. So that being said, what do you really focus on in the fall when the championship portion of your schedule is not till the spring?
I guess the fall is a lot about not shooting yourself in the foot. If you get off to a slow start, the spring becomes that much more important. I know last year we were kind of middle of the road in the fall, which did make the spring a little bit more important, and then we got off to a slow start in the spring. Coming out of the snow, it's always tough for us here, but we've made some changes that, we're starting spring earlier. We're actually playing fall later too. We end actually in Portland this fall, actually pretty close to Halloween, which is pretty late for us, and then we start the last weekend of February. So I think combining those two things, it's going to help us, that everyone's coming fresh into the season and we can get things rolling in our home city, and then also in the spring to get an earlier start, because a lot of the, southern schools, there's no weather factor with them, and they start their seasons in early February, and we're behind the 8 ball. So.
And talk about your first event that's coming up next week, getting to play right here, like you mentioned, in Billings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun. The Rocky guys, some of us are friends on personal levels, so the weeks leading up, there's always some hazing and some fun back and forth. But no, we look forward to it. We're happy to add Lake Hills to our rotation this year. So the first day is up at Lake Hills, and then we end at Yagan, which is Rocky's home course, and it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately this year, Michael Porter he has a commitment, so there will only be 6 of us from the roster playing, but it's a special event. We start with a banquet. It kind of gets the freshmen kind of preempted kind of what college holds for them, and how big and important events can seem when you're coming from the high school ranks. But really looking forward to next Thursday.
We're real excited. We've been able to practice a little over a week, and I'm very encouraged with our team. But it's just at this point, after a lot of rounds and a lot of work, it's just nice to get some competition against someone besides yourselves.
You have a lot of good veteran leadership returning. You didn't lose any seniors or anything. It starts at the top with Mikey Porter and Connor Miele. Talk about those two guys as seniors returning.
I expect a lot out of them, both as leaders and as players. Connor is our returning team captain, had a very good year last year, and had a nice summer. I expect him to do some great things. Michael Porter is a very consistent player, did a fabulous job as a junior, and I think they really will set the tone for our team. We're very young to be outside of those two, but I like the way they practice. I like the way they communicate with the younger players, and I think they're going to have excellent seasons.
Two of the younger players who do have experience returning are Austin Walter and Scott Larson. Both showed potential last year. Austin really started to put it together towards the end of the season. What are your expectations of those two as sophomores?
I just want them to, take the next step and show that they've gotten better. I know they were both played a lot in the summer. I thought Austin really became much more of a consistent player during the season in the spring, and then Scott has great potential as well. And I look for them both to take a step forward.
And how do you see the newcomers coming in and mixing in with the team? You have a couple of freshmen, your son Garrett and Caleb Stetzner, and then Dylan Message, who's been in the program but will be making his debut on the course this year.
I think all three will add a lot to our team, give us depth. We're trying to get even a little bit more depth over the next year, but Dylan is coming back from a knee injury, and he's played some very good golf this fall so far, and it's been a long time since he's been able to compete due to that injury, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. And then both Caleb and Garrett have established themselves over the first week as I think they have what it takes to compete at the college level, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they play in the upcoming weeks.
And with golf being split up, you have some of your tournaments in the fall and then your championship season in the spring. What are your hopes for the men to accomplish this fall in the handful of tournaments that you have?
Well, I just want us to, build some team unity. I think they are a close-knit group. Again, our seniors do a really good job of promoting that, and then I think they've gotten to work with me from day one, and as well as my assistant coaches do a good job of really emphasizing that short game from 100 yards and in, and then just managing all of our games. So it'll be interesting to see how we do with the cup matches, but then we have an excellent schedule in that many of them will have the opportunity to play two tournaments out in Washington, and then everybody will get to play at Portland in mid-October, as well as the Rocky Invitational. So they have the opportunity ahead of them to play several rounds of competition, and I'd just like to see steady progress as we finish out the fall season.